Insiders breaking news. Harry and Meghan seem furious to me because they are not behind this recent paypot. You will see on the screen they have been packed in a gated community in Santa Barbara. And I know lots of chat rooms are saying that they've leaked the pictures and that they set it up. I am here to debunk this because if you are new to my channel, I spent 20 years as a celebrity publicist and I set up paypots day in, day out. Now, when I saw these pop shots, let's put the main picture onto the stage. There was something that wasn't sitting right with me about this, because this is what you need to know. Pap shots are done by experts and they are very discreet. So you could hypothetically have a pap sat in a car taking pictures and no one would know. They could be shot on an iPhone, but these pictures are very grainy. They've been zoomed in on. And this is not the image that Harry and Meghan want us to see. We know they go to great lengths to present to us a highly curated image that they control and clears throat. It's very different from the actual reality. So, whenever we see Meghan's brands or public outings, or when she's aware of there being photographers, it is vastly different from this. Now, last year I did some research, and this image was taken and put on social media by someone who I assume lives in Montito in the gated community. This is also a gated community where you know it's not prison. People are allowed friends to come and see them. So it will be impossible to actually know who has taken this image. But what we know is, we know that they do go trick-or-treating in this gated community. And so this image, or it was a still taken from a video, it is, my belief, taken from a citizen journalist. What is a red herring in this? Is the photographer's name on the credit is Carl Lesson, I believe. And he has previously worked with Thomas Markle, and he has also done pap shots of Meghan and Harry. This is what I want you to know. In America, the laws around pap shots are very gray. So frequently doormen at restaurants or waitresses or people within organizations will tip off people like TMZ or Batgrid and photographs will be taken, and these citizen journalists can send them to people like Carl at Batgrid, and they will buy them off the person and syndicate them. They'll put them out on the wire. This is why I think Meghan is furious and Harry about this. They seem to me to be control freaks. They are obsessed with how they're being seen and creating a very tight narrative. I want to show you this, and I just need to check there's no sound on it, because I don't want to be penalized, right? This is the video that Meghan put out on her social media about Halloween. Okay, this is content she is controlling. She is controlling the narrative. Let's have a look. So, it's all very happy families holding hands with Harry, you know? I mean, can I just pause and say, if I said to my husband, "Can you sit down so I can take a video of you carving a pumpkin?" He would tell me to beep off. He would say, "No, I'm not a child." If I said, "Can I film you doing it?" He'd be like, "Have you lost your mind?" Anyhow, so then we go to the PAP. Let's go up, right? So then we go to this image, the PAP image. Okay, so this is them walking and they're not holding hands. You can see someone's just got their phone up like that. Looks to me like she's wearing slippers. Although I see some people online say they're shoes she wore for an interview. I have no idea. But all I know is that what we know about Meghan is she genuinely believes that she is a fashionista. She genuinely believes she is setting trends. This is not a look she would want to portray. But also, what's really interesting is they're not holding hands. They're not holding hands with their kids. So it's so different from actually what they want us to believe. So Page 6 broke the story and said, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lily Bear, trick-or-treating and rare family outing. But this is all smoke or mirrors, guys. This is not a happy family outing. Does this look to you to be a very happy pop-pot that they want out there? I would say no. And I would also say they are very much pushing this as ever brand, which is in their minds, not in our minds, but in their minds it's high society. It's refined. It's traditional. You know, they are walking down the street. She is in a tracksuit with slippers, and they are both drinking alcohol walking down the street. Now let me know, insiders in the US. Is this normal on Halloween? It's not normal in England, but I'd love to hear from you if this is normal. And this comes after a week whereby I have debunked exactly what's going on with Harry and Meghan and the lies that we are being sold. Netflix, she told us, were her business partner. She told us that she's doing loads of work with them on the brand, yet her products are not being sold on the Netflix store. So we know now we can completely discredit what she says. It's lie after lie after lie. And again, she always tends to put out content when she wants to squash a story further down the narrative. And today there was a video that came out of her and Harry in their cinema room. And Meghan jumps up when her team scores and runs over to Harry and kisses him. But let's just go back. Who films themselves watching sport? Again, this just reinforces exactly what I'm saying. Everything is highly curated. And so when an image like this breaks, this is not in line with the billionaire Montito, powerful entrepreneur that she wants to be perceived as. No, what we just see is grifty, porcupelling liar that is gaslighting the public. And this comes off the back of Emily Robinson, the 10th member of staff that is left working for Meghan. I debunked that as well. I showed you the Forbes press release. I showed you the PR Week piece. And so everything that Meghan and Harry do is so highly curated. They want to sell you this dream that they're living, that they are living the best life. And so you can 100, let's say 99%, to be legally careful. You can know that they are not going to be happy with this image because they're drinking, because they're walking down the street. And I don't think this is the kind of family image they would want. I don't drink alcohol, but I wouldn't walk down the street with my children with what looks to be alcohol on Halloween, but alas, we're all different. To let you know that I don't believe they set this up, and for that they would be furious about it, because they will say, oh, it's an invasion of privacy. But at the end of the day, we do live in a world where there are camera phones, and I would say, look out for content Meghan's going to be putting onto her channels. Because again, she will just want to squash this all down and rewrite the narrative. And remember, she's always looking to highly control the narrative. And so, let's have a look at this one more time, because this is not controlling the narrative. This very footage is going against the fashionista she thinks she is. It's going against the healthy lifestyle. It's going against the very expensive rosé wine. When you own a very expensive rosé wine, white-labeled brand that probably sells about 4 bottles, what you don't want to be seen as at all is walking down the street with what looks like a stemless wine cup. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. You know I'm not great at this. Insiders. Yeah, you know the kids up front ahead of them? They're not holding hands. Nah, she's not going to be happy with this. So, insiders, like, comment, and subscribe. And I have got a huge, snorts huge show coming up for you this week, and I have got some exclusives. Stay tuned. Thank you. Meghan Markle's desperate attempt to be in the billionaire club is in full throttle. Let me tell you what is going on. So, this weekend, Meghan Markle dragged Harry along to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, and it was full of the most awful people from Tyler Perry to Oprah Winfrey, Corey Gamble to the Hiltons. Now, I have personal experience with the Kardashian machine. As such, I used to represent Jonathan Cheban, food god as you may know him, and size, what shall I say? Jonathan Lovely. But the way the Kardashian machine operates, it is not real. It is just there for clicks. Everything is so curated. And so what does Griffey Griffison do? She turns up to the party because, couldn't bear to let this invite go. I would question, were they there to really celebrate Kris Jenner's 70th birthday? Or were they looking for, I don't know, people to potentially donate money for all of these various things they're doing now? Meghan Markle is Sarah Ferguson without a doubt. And I saw Kinsey Schofield said this today, and I absolutely agree with it. Meghan wants press constantly. She is constantly looking for validation. And so when they tell us they want a life of service, no, they don't. They just want their face in the press time and time again. But they also have to be surrounded by people with money and power. And this is very, very common amongst celebrities. They always want to be with people that are able to elevate them in some capacity, and it's just ridiculous. And then, Meghan's team, that little tap was, the tap was going leaky. Because, look what happens in people. Meghan Markle, seen on set of new movie. Well, she wasn't seen, was she? We think insiders, don't we? That she had her own camera that she gave one of her team, and they went clickety-click because you wouldn't get a pap on set. So, we can rule that out. And I believe that she has a very good Canon camera. That's what some of my clients had when they wanted to do pop shots. And I believe that someone in her team, just my opinion, don't sue me, Meghan, but I think someone in her team took that picture and then sent it to Backgrid and syndicated it. And that is why there is not a photographer's name attached to the picture, because they don't want the public and us insiders having too much information. So, this absolute puff piece says, an insider confirmed to People on November the 5th that Meghan was on the set of the movie all day. Well, she wasn't really, was she? Because we think she's got a nonverbal line, or at most a few lines. One day shooting done. She has a small part. She seemed very relaxed and happy. People, was Meghan your source for this? I think she was. The insider added that Meghan introduced herself to everyone and was very sweet and down to earth. This was definitely Meghan because no one that meets her would say that. Meghan will play herself in the film, which stars Brie Larson, Lily Collins, Jack Quaid, and Henry Golding. People has reached out to a spokesperson for the Duchess of Sussex to comment. She doesn't need to comment, does she? Because she probably just gave you that piece. And then here we go. We've got a breakout box from People which is absolutely approved. This is the biggest puff piece I've ever seen. So we've got the leaky picture of her like that. And then this piece says Meghan Markle was photographed wearing one of her signature stars on the set of the new Close Personal Friends, right? By one of her signature stars. We are talking about a shirt out, right? And so, whilst Grifty were out in LA, hanging out with people because they've all got money, because normal people aren't good enough for them. Let's just look at Princess Catherine and Prince George, who were at the Royal Albert Hall for an event regarding Remembrance Day. And I've got my lovely cross with my poppy on. And Princess Catherine looked incredible. There have been some really horrible trolls talking about her outfit online. I think that's crazy. I think she looks amazing. And so, whilst she is truly doing a life of service and a life of duty, we have these grifty, the grifty duo who are hanging around with Kim Kardashian, who I don't know if it was like a themed party, because Kim looks like a Nampa. And then you've got Oprah and Gayle, who isn't her girlfriend King, which I just don't understand at this point. I'm not insinuating they're a couple. I mean, people have told me things, but we shan't go into that insiders. We'll save that for Rumble when I've got a Rumble set up. But Gayle King goes everywhere with Oprah. That's just not normal. Like, I love my best friend, but I wouldn't take her to everything. I'd probably take other people to some things. We are not glued at the hip. And then you've got, Corey Gamble. So Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's partner, very, very strange. Very close to Diddy. Incredibly close to Diddy. Some have reported, can't vouch for this, but if you do your research, which I can't put on my channel because it'll probably get struck off, but Corey Gamble was allegedly at the premises when Kim Porter, Diddy's wife, passed away from pneumonia. Very strange. I'll look into that for you, actually, insiders. And then you've got the Kardashians there's literally not a plastic surgery. These women haven't had, and they are the worst role models known to man, I would argue. And they're with Diddy, who is behind bars for all of the heinous offenses we know he has committed. Although I would argue that sentence was not quite long enough. I would have added a 0 onto it, the term time. And then you've got Oprah with Harvey Weinstein, so here we have Prince Harry and Meghan are choosing to spend time with very, very questionable characters. We know about Tyler Perry. We know about all of the bad press Oprah has had. But I wonder, insiders, do you think it's time I do a deep dive on all of these people and aggregate this information in one place for you? Because this is a really, really dark move that Harry and Meghan have pulled. Whilst Princess Catherine is on the ground for Remembrance Sunday, and we've got Prince William flying back, I believe he was from Brazil from the Earthshot Prize, a week that he spent out there. We've got Harry and Meghan doing a life of service for their ego and for their wallet. This is such an awful, awful event to be seen at. We know how the Kardashians have made their money. We know that everything they do is curated. So, I told you that celebrities will often buy their own camera and take pat pictures. Just look at all of the Kardashian pat pictures because you'll know which ones are set up. I would say most of them because there'll only be one set. So, the Kardashians, word on the street, don't want to start rumors, but this is what I've heard. Do take their own pictures and then syndicate through Backred. But I would also say that some of them look to me, just in my opinion, that they might have been retouched. Everything you see with the Kardashians is a construct. The world is a stage. So, insiders, remember the grifty little duo have been desperate to meet billionaires and been hanging around. There's Bill Gates there at this party, Jeff Bezos, and all they care about, in my opinion, is money and power because what can't they do anymore? They can't release products because the products don't sell. Netflix didn't make the top 300 as ever has not taken off. It is only selling in the United States. If this brand had power to sell, there would have been deals done in many other territories by now. We know Netflix isn't even selling the A's products. And we know that Meghan has lost her 10th member of PR staff, Emily Robinson. And so you will see lots of constructs and lots of smoke and mirrors that make you think, oh, are they doing well? Are they mixing with these people? I would argue this is as fake as the Kardashians' faces. Stay awake, insiders. Keep the money in your back pocket and question what you see in your mainstream media because the world is